Everyone loves the classic Flowmaster sound, from the milder sound of the Super 50 to the aggressive sound of the Super 44. If you've wondered what the different series of mufflers sound like, you're not alone. Most shops aren't willing to install each pair of mufflers just so you can hear what they sound like. Time is money. But today we're going to take the time to test 8 of Flowmaster's popular mufflers, so you can hear what they all sound like on a highly modified muscle car. Today we're looking at Flowmaster's line of mufflers for street rods and muscle cars, from milder sounding like the Super 50, moderate sounding like the Pro Series and 50 Series Delta Flow, to the aggressive sounding mufflers like the 40 Series Delta Flow, Super 40, Original 40 Series, the Super 44, and the smallest and most aggressive of the bunch, the Super 10. The Dodge Challenger we have here is a great test mule for that classic Flowmaster sound, and we're here to help you make a decision on which muffler better suits your needs. As we test the different mufflers, keep in mind that every car will be different. Our Mopar has 550 horsepower coming from its 408 cubic inch stroker, making it a very aggressive sounding engine. So even the milder mufflers are going to have a lot of tone. We're here to help you make a decision on which muffler better suits your needs. So, let's get right to it. The Super 50 mufflers have a relatively mild exterior sound. They're a great choice for daily driven cars because in most cases, there's minimal interior resonance. This is the quietest Flowmaster we can fit on this particular car, although not the quietest Flowmaster offered. If you don't want to make your presence known from blocks away, this muffler will allow you to make an appearance without turning heads before you arrive. Inside, you'll be able to hear your music and your passengers just fine. From the outside, the idle is a little healthier than a stock muffler, but revving the engine lets people know that it's definitely not stock. If you want a little bit of rumble but still want to keep it tame, you have a couple of mufflers to choose from. The 50 Series Delta Flow mufflers have a rumble to them, and you'll be heard when you arrive. You probably won't wake the neighbors with these, but you will get noticed. The Challenger is starting to sound more like a muscle car now, but it's still tame enough that the sound isn't overbearing on longer trips. The Pro Series mufflers are a patented laminar flow design with excellent performance characteristics. You'll get a rumble with more bass tone than the 50 Series Delta Flow. With street and strip performance in mind, this is a muffler that will give you open header performance, but still maintain a reasonable sound. Like the Delta Flow, the Pro Series will give you a milder interior sound level. Now we're getting into the more aggressive sounding mufflers. These mufflers will announce your arrival, and like all Flowmasters, these mufflers have that classic chambered sound, but it's going to be louder and more aggressive. Flowmaster has a few mufflers in the aggressive sound range, and each of these may give you a noticeable interior resonance. Conversations will need to be a little higher volume, and at wide open throttle, conversation loses out to the sound of the mufflers. The Challenger is rumbling like a muscle car should, and these mufflers will be more noticeable on long trips. If you want an aggressive sound and a deeper rumble, the aggressive mufflers are what you want. We're installing the 40 Series Delta Flow first, then the Super 40, the 40 Series, Super 44, and lastly will be the Super 10, which will give you the deepest rumble and loudest sound of all the mufflers we test today. The 40 Series Delta Flow has additional Delta plates inside for better performance with the added benefit of reduced interior resonance to keep it somewhat tame. The Super 40 mufflers have a slightly different sound with more bass tones. The 40 Series mufflers. Can you hear the difference? the Super 44 mufflers. The Super 10 Muffler series are the smallest, and as you can probably tell, they're also the loudest. These are reading at 92.3 decibels. Conversation will have to wait until you reach your destination. As you can tell, the mufflers got a little bit more aggressive and considerably louder by the time we got to the Super 10 series mufflers. From mild to wild, now you have a little better idea of what sort of sound you can expect from each series of mufflers. Keep in mind, different engines will have very different sound characteristics. This Mopar is very aggressive sounding with its 3-inch exhaust. So for you guys with 300 horsepower engines and 2¼ inch exhaust, expect quieter sounds across the board. Remember too that a major part of the sound quality from this or any car is the presence of a crossover pipe. Most folks prefer the sound of the H-pipe, although for performance, the X design works well too. The Flowmaster sound is classic, and for every car you have several choices. Be sure to check out FlowmasterMufflers.com for information on their entire line of mufflers and bolt-on exhaust systems.